You've been asking the wrong question. You keep asking God why it hasn't happened yet. But the real question is, what would you have done with it back then? Be honest. You know the answer. You would have settled. You would have grabbed the first thing that looked close enough to what you wanted and called it good enough. And God loved you too much to let that happen. I need you to hear this today because something in your life has been delayed. Something you wanted, something you put your whole heart into, has not arrived on your schedule. And you've been carrying that weight around like it means you failed, like the silence from heaven means you were forgotten. But what if I told you the delay was the most protective thing God has ever done for you? Think about who you were 2 years ago. Think about what you would have accepted. The relationship that looked good on paper, but would have drained you dry within 6 months. The job that paid well, but would have buried your purpose under somebody else's vision. You would have said yes. You know you would have. Not because you're weak, but because you were hungry. And hungry people eat the first thing put in front of them, even when it's not what their body actually needs. God saw that. God saw you reaching. And instead of letting you grab something that would have kept you comfortable, but never fulfilled, He pulled it back. Not to punish you, to protect what was coming. There's a version of your life where you got everything you wanted 3 years ago. And in that version, you're miserable right now. You're stuck in something that looked like a blessing, but became a cage. You're smiling on the outside while something inside you slowly goes quiet. That version of you settled. And settling is the most expensive thing a person can do because it costs you the life you were actually built for. But that's not your story. Your story is the one where it took longer, where the waiting felt unbearable, where you lay in bed some nights wondering if God even heard you. And I'm telling you right now, He heard every single word, every whispered prayer at 2 in the morning. Every cry you tried to hold in so nobody else would worry. Every moment you almost gave up. But some stubborn flicker inside you wouldn't let you quit. That wasn't just willpower. That was God keeping the flame alive because He knew what was on the other side of this season. You've been looking at other people's timelines and measuring yourself against them. You watched someone get the thing you wanted and it broke something in you, even though you'd never admit that out loud. But their path is not your path. What they received was built for their story, and some of the things you envied. If you could see behind the curtain, you'd thank God on your knees that He kept you from it. The delay has been doing something. Not to you, in you. It's been building something that comfort never could have built. Patience you didn't have before. A deep knowing of what you will and will not accept. That's not damage from the weight. That's the entire point of it. You are not the same person who made that prayer 2 years ago. Your standards are higher now. Your discernment is sharper. You can smell something fake from a mile away because you've had time to learn what real actually feels like. And that quiet shift happening inside you, while nothing seemed to be happening on the outside, that's the preparation. God doesn't give you what you're ready for. He makes you ready for what He's about to give you. And right now, you're closer than you've ever been. I know it doesn't feel that way. I know the waiting has made everything feel flat. But pay attention to what's been shifting around you lately. Small things. Doors that cracked open without you pushing. Conversations that landed differently. A feeling in your gut that something is about to move. That's not wishful thinking. That's the ground shaking before the breakthrough splits it wide open. Here's what I need you to stop doing. Stop apologizing for wanting what you want. You were given those desires for a reason. The dream that keeps coming back to you, no matter how many times you try to be realistic about it, that's not delusion. That's direction. It keeps returning because it belongs to you. You just haven't been ready to carry the full weight of it until now. And stop telling yourself the story that good things happen to other people. That's a lie you picked up somewhere along the way, and it's been running your life like a background program you forgot was open. Close it. Delete it. It was never true. The evidence is already in your life if you look for it. You survived things that should have taken you out. You kept going when quitting made more sense. You're watching this right now instead of numbing out, and that tells me everything about who you are. The blessing that's coming is going to make the wait make sense. Not in a small way, in a way that drops you to your knees because you'll see the full picture for the first time. You'll see why that door closed. You'll see why that person left. And you'll understand that every single no was protecting the yes that was worth your entire journey. God didn't forget about you. He was building something so specific to your life, so perfectly matched to who you're becoming, that it couldn't arrive early. It needed you at this exact version of yourself. Not the old you who would have settled, not the desperate you who would have forced it. This you, the one who's been through the fire and came out with eyes that can finally see what's real. So when it arrives, and it will, you won't just be grateful. You'll be ready. You'll hold it with hands that know its value, because you learned what it costs to wait for something worth having. And you will never, for a single second, wonder if you settled. Because you didn't. You held the line. And God is about to show you why.